On today's Chasing the Game, we talk with the head coach of Arlington boys basketball, Jason Vermillion, and get an inside look at the Red Devils' incredible tournament run. Chasing the Game starts right now. Welcome into Chasing the Game. I'm here with Arlington boys head basketball coach Jason Vermillion. Jason, thank you so much for making the drive up here. I know you guys are coming from all the way down south of Findlay. Just right off the bat, what's this tournament run been like for you guys? It's been incredible to watch.
It's been an unexpected one. I mean, the guys have just been great these last 13, 14, 15 games, and the school energy has been off the charts. The community support's been great, and we're trying to make this special just like it was back in 2012.
Yeah, you were a part of that run. You've been a part of Arlington for a long time, 27 years. I think that's got to be, what, the longest tenured in the BBC, right?
Yes,
or close to it?
Yes.
Yeah, so just how incredible is that? I mean, that's a lifetime in coaching to be a part of a program for 27 years. Did you imagine that you were going to be a part of a program this long?
And you always want to experience and hopefully to get to that point. And I've been fortunate to have some great administrators and support with the Board of Education and throughout the years that we've been able to make this program be successful. And it all starts with the kids, though, too. We've had great kids that have performed and done what we've asked and just are great competitors, and leads to 27 years so far.
Yeah. Have you always been an Arlington guy, or where did you come from originally?
I'm from a neighboring school at Corey Rawson.
Okay.
I was there for 1 year before I came to Arlington and got the teaching job there, and just fell into a great situation.
Yeah, so obviously you know the BBC, you know that whole area well. What is it about the Arlington community that has made you stick around for so long?
Their support is great. Whether we're down or good, or it doesn't matter. I mean, that's the thing about our community is that whatever sport that kids are involved with, everybody supports. And, that's a huge component to successful school programs, and the community's awesome.
Yeah, and you guys have been good more often than not. I think you reached, 400 wins or something last year.
We did.
What does that say about your career? Are you someone who kind of looks in the rear view a lot and appreciates stuff like that, or how do you sort of look at it?
Well, I do. I go back to first team, and from first team to now, and just the kids and the guys that I've been able to coach, just attached to them, and they just work hard for you, and they compete, and the friendships and relationships that I have with a bunch of them from the first team to now is just you can't explain it, because the support that they're giving me right now with texts and calls and stuff like that in this run is just great.
Yeah. With that first team, I think you were in your mid-20s, something like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Did you feel like you were prepared for it in the beginning?
No. I mean, but the kids bought into just playing hard, and it took some time, a few years to get things rolling, but they're all special to me, every single one of them.
Yeah, the BBC is obviously a very competitive conference. For the people who don't know, I mean, you're in a conference with Liberty Benton. Every now and then, there's some good teams. Like, what is it about playing in that conference that makes it, good basketball seems to come out of there, especially with these tournament runs like you're having?
We have, over the years, we've had, like, Van Buren made runs to the regional level. Liberty Benton's state champion in '95, but Coach Willman was the guy who I was trying to be like when I first started. And just the relationship with those coaches, knowing that there's good coaches and good players within the league. We don't get a very good rap about our league with basketball, but we've had teams over the years that hopefully regain some respect.
Yeah, Liberty Benton, like you said, has always been that team to beat. There's something about they just have great facilities, great athletes. What is it like kind of going up against that team specifically?
It's tough because this year's team was long and big. And then, I think about last year's Pandora team. Coach Lee had a really good athletic team that got to the regionals, and Macomb's been there. So it's like there's a number of teams in our area. Lipsick went down to state back in 2013. So we've had our share of good teams and coaches in our league that we have to prepare for each week.
Yeah. Do you feel like it made you a better team this season when you go up against a Liberty Benton like that? Do you feel like it kind of prepared you for the tournament run?
Yeah. They humbled us in our game at their place this year. They beat us pretty bad, and that was a weekend where the stretch that we had some losses that our kids had to figure out, and we had to figure out as coaches what we had to do to get better, and we were able to do that here in the second half of the year. Yeah,
that was part of that stretch. I think you guys had 3 losses in a row. Well, I mean, it was an incredible season for a bunch of reasons. You guys started the season, I think, 11-0, or something like that. Then you have a 3-game skid there. You lose to Liberty Benton. That was your only conference loss.
Yep.
And then now you're on this 13-game run again. That's kind of an insane roller coaster to have 3 straight losses, but also have these great starts to the season, great, hopefully, continuation of the season. Just what's that roller coaster like as a coach? How do you get through that?
Well, we started the season playing some really good basketball teams. Our first weekend was Fort Jennings and Kaleido. Well, both of those teams got really better at the end of the year, and we felt that those were good wins to start the year. And then it started snowballing a little bit. We had some other good wins against good programs and good coaches in the month of December. And then we had 2 weekends where we went to overtime against Riverdale, who played really well and executed their plan really to the best. And then we get beat by Crestview and Liberty Benton and Spencerville consecutively. And then so we definitely had some time to reflect, and we just honed in on a few things we felt that we had to get better at, and the kids have just been so coachable. I mean, that's the big part of this team, is the coachability, and they want to win, and they do it well together.
Yeah, and you guys have ridden that, obviously, to the state semifinals.
Yes.
You were there in 2012, right?
Correct.
How does this kind of compare to that run? Do you think that these teams kind of compare to each other in a lot of ways?
A little bit. We weren't expected. We had goals, but we probably weren't expected to get there in 2012 because we weren't ranked. This year's group had some state recognition because of the 7 divisions, but most people didn't have us to this spot. And I knew with our schedule it was going to be a challenge for the whole year. And so there's some correlation, but there's also some differences. It's just the big difference is this isn't the same feel of a Final Four, unfortunately, for the kids, because I've been able to experience what it's supposed to be like on a weekend where you get to go travel and stay overnight and prepare and then be able to go see other semifinals. Well, this year is a little bit different. But other than that, we're going to make it the best we can.
Yeah, you touched on something that I think a lot of coaches have talked about, a lot of people in the basketball community have talked about, the expansion of divisions. Yeah. Do you feel like it's harming the kids ultimately? How do you what's your take on it, I guess?
I mean, you want the kids to have a memory. I mean, to get to the Final Four is not an easy thing to do. And the fact that we have to go to the same venue, which the Stroh Center is awesome. I'm not just playing that down, but being able to go down in the shot in 2012 was great. We should be there tonight or tomorrow night, have a team meal, get ready to prepare and play the next day, and then be able to try to get to the state championship game or not. But now just the length in between, and just doesn't feel the same. But our community and our school has done a great job of trying to make it special for these kids to have some memories, even though it's a little different look.
Do you think that coaches around Ohio, do you think there'll be a discourse that they can talk with the OHSAA and maybe get the toothpaste back in the tube, so to speak? Because I imagine it would maybe be tough to condense divisions again, but do you think that's possible?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be great for us to get back to what the Final Four of this sport should look like, and it's just not right now.
Yeah. This tournament run, you guys have you're going up against Edgerton in the semifinals. You guys went up against Delphus. That was a huge upset. Talk about, what an upset that was, at least in our eyes, the people who were kind of looking at these records, looking at these teams and judging it, and you guys were able to pull off the win. Was it an upset in your mind?
Well, I mean, we trusted ourselves and our plan and stuff, with knowing that, Coach Elwer and his staff is a really good in what they do, and they've got really, really good basketball players, and their style was kind of tough to what we do defensively in our zone, and our kids just stayed the course, and we handled the punches they threw at us, and then with our response in the third quarter to get back to tied to go into the fourth, just gave our kids the sense of we can get this done, and we were just able to, possession by possession, just continue to just grind, and the longer it went, the more our kids felt like, hey, we can't get this done.
Yeah, Jace is obviously a senior on the team. He's been terrific. I mean, one of the best players in the BVC, if not all of Northwest Ohio. What's your kind of take on his development as a player and how you've kind of seen him grow over the years? It's
special for me. I've been able to keep my emotions in check most of the time, but the longer we go here, knowing that this is my last one to share this with, and for him to get to this level is amazing, because I know how much time that we all spent in the gym together over the years, and to see this get to the Final Four with him is special. And then having my oldest son on the staff and my middle son coming to help us out here every once in a while, it's like, you can't I mean, I just trying to keep it in check right now and know we got a task at hand, but we're really gonna enjoy it together as a family.
In some ways, does it make it the most emotional tournament run by far?
A little bit. You know, I really wanted to give him a big hug, and I got to give him a big hug last Saturday afternoon. But you know, you're still the adrenaline, the excitement, and you move on because you know you got another game. So hopefully you have one more after this one too.
Yeah, Rushi, you know, you guys are taking them on. What's that like? You've obviously been watching a lot of game film. What do you kind of see in them?
Well, you know, Rushi's a very, very good basketball team as well, just like Delphus. And their coaches are going to have their kids well prepared. They're a different style than what we faced with Delphus St. John's. So we've had to make some adjustments on how we want to do things and in our preparation and what we want to do at both ends of the floor. And so it's going to be a great challenge. You know, our kids are not going to be afraid. The narrative's out there. We know that the narrative's there, but we're going to attack it just like we did last week.
Yeah, you guys, you know, typically, you know, I think geography is part of that. You guys don't typically get the coverage. Are you kind of glad that maybe you are getting some of the looks that maybe you weren't typically because, you know, expansion of divisions, you guys are able to make a deeper run and you kind of get those looks that maybe you weren't getting before? The field isn't as crowded, I guess?
Oh, maybe. You know, I'm not one to put ourselves out there, and we like to keep our head in the sand and just do what we do, and hopefully people respect our product out there and how we play, and we just go from there.
Yeah. What do you want the legacy of this team to be? Obviously, your son being a part of it, but the fact that you guys are able to get back to the state semifinals, what do you want people to kind of remember this team?
I want people to remember this team as to know that they've continued to do what all the previous teams have done as far as how we play. We play hard, we defend. And the biggest thing is this group they're coachable. And that's such a big thing in today's game that we don't have that primary score that we go to all the time. The ball moves, and just watching these guys play and finding guys to get open shots makes it more easier as a coach, and that teams can't lock in on a couple guys.
Yeah, you're a teacher at Arlington too, right? What do you teach?
Sixth grade math.
Sixth grade math. So how does that kind of compare to, you know, coaching guys on the court versus trying to teach math to sixth graders? Because I remember how I was in sixth grade trying to learn math. It's probably pretty difficult for some of them.
You know, it's not bad. You know, today I worked on areas of trapezoids and triangles, so we just teach it just like I do with a coach.
Yeah. What does that say to have such coachable guys? You know, is that something that you have to work on, their coachability, or like do you have to coach coachability, I guess, or is it something that they just sort of have?
They got to figure it out with what we want to do. If they're not willing to do what we ask, then we just move on to some other guys. But it all starts at home. I mean, we've had great parents, and those parents have put those kids out on the court, outside, doing stuff on their own, because we don't get to where we are without our players doing stuff in the off season. And we've been blessed with a lot of guys over the years that have given time in the off season to become better basketball players, and which puts together as a team.
Yeah, and I think that says a lot about the Arlington community itself, yes. The fact that the parents are so involved, because I don't think you necessarily see that in every community. You see it in plenty of them, but you know, when you have it, it's special, and when you don't have it, it's missing. It feels
makes it tough.
Yeah,
makes it tough.
Absolutely. Any other thoughts about this tournament run? This team, you've obviously had a ton of success. I know, Liberty Benton is the one that gets a lot of recognition, and rightfully so. I mean, they've done a terrific job, and I love the people at Liberty Benton. But you guys are, kind of this team that has kind of appeared out of nowhere to now you guys are one of the few teams left standing. Any other thing that you think people should know about you?
I just hope that people appreciate how we play and how our kids compete, and we try to do it the right way. I have a great relationship with all the coaches. I mean, that's one of the big things too, is the friendships that I've created over the years with coaches that we compete against. I mean, we compete hard for 32 minutes, and then we can get together and enjoy the game of basketball outside than just competing.
Yeah, Jason Vermillion, 27 years as the Arlington head coach. Do you have any, intentions of taking a break anytime soon?
That's not the intent right now, but I'll evaluate.
Absolutely. All right. Jason Vermillion, thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Congratulate you on what has been a terrific tournament run. I hope to see it continue against Rushi in the state semifinals. You guys have obviously made the Arlington community very proud. So, be proud of it. So a terrific career, terrific season. Let's keep it going.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Chasing the Game. Be sure to catch us out on YouTube and the WTOL 11 Plus app. We're also now on Spotify, so be sure to check us out there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.